Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Special Hobby. It comes in 1/48 scale and it's a completely new kit because it's a L4 Grasshopper, and this edition is named as a From Africa to Central Europe. Kit number is SH48218, and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. And why this model is interesting for us? Because it's as I said, completely new tool to release, which should be already available. And as you can see, the first version or first boxing comes as this nice kit. So I was just looking at the box art, and in my opinion this is really a nice image. It would be a great poster, as I always say about good box arts, but unfortunately Special Hobby does not do such things. And you can notice that the box size is standard for this brand. Here is comparison with my hand. By the way, I can also mention that we will review on our YouTube channel these two accessories for this kit, masks and wheels. So if you're interested in something additional to this model, definitely check them out as well. And as for the box, this is a top opening box. It should be easy to open, so just give me a second. As you can see, there is plenty of space. We have assembly manual on the top, and then all plastic parts packed into the same plastic bag. So we will check them one by one in order to understand what is actually provided to us here, and why this kit might be an interesting project for modelers who would like to build something different from all these common subjects which we are used to see in this scale. So first of all, I would like to start with plastic parts, and then we will continue with decals. I can see that we even have some 3D printed parts, which is rather surprising. And here we have the first gray plastic sprue. As you can see, it is dedicated to fuselage halves and also to wing parts. So each wing side should be glued out of two halves. You can notice that ailerons are pre-molded, and that's something what is, I would say, somewhat surprising here, because I would expect the separately molded ailerons in 1/48 scale, but we have what we have. And maybe you can bring them out with help of various painting techniques. Note that also that rudder here is pre-molded. I guess the tail wings are molded as a single piece parts together with elevators. Such design should make it easier to assemble whole model, but for some modelers they would rather prefer the separate elements for a bit more realistic appearance. So here you can take a closer look at the wing parts. As you can see, we have nice ribbed surface here, which should look good with some shading maybe added. The same applies to these tail wings, and here we continue with more parts for, I guess that will be used in the interior, but we will check in the assembly manual. As for the fuselage halves, we also have a nice imitation of the tensioned fabric surface, and as you can see, we have rudder only on one, so I guess it will be used as a guiding element. We will flip over the sprue a bit later. Here you can also see that the cowling parts are pre-molded, so no section is pre-molded, and you have to be careful there in order to get the smooth connection between these parts. Okay, and now we can flip it over as I promised. So here you can see that we have, yes, the rudder serving as a guiding element. We also have guiding pins. We have some minor features in the cockpit area, and also guiding pins in the nose section. Here we continue with the cockpit floor, and you can notice that the tail wings, they are actually one piece, as I said before. And for the wings we have the guiding pins, but you have to erase these push marks, maybe with a sharp knife, maybe with sanding. It will be up to you how you approach this, but of course you will have to do it, because otherwise you won't be able to combine these two halves together, and then you won't get a smooth connection between the parts. Next we continue with the second and the last gray plastic sprue, and here I can see some surprising things. So first of all, engine is included here out of the box. You don't have to get something extra in order to copy it on your model, but keep in mind that CMK will also produce the more detailed engine out of resin. I think it will be also combining the 3D printed elements, so that will be interesting for experienced modelers who would like to add more features. We also have here wing struts, landing gear wheels. As you remember, I showed you the one-piece landing gear wheels from CMK. I would rather recommend to get them because they look superior in comparison to these ones. And we also have various thin struts, small propellers, some small parts for the cockpit. even the small framing here for the canopy, I guess. So let's zoom in so that you can check all these parts closer. Again, molding quality is really good here, so I don't see any serious issues with these parts. Even with the thinnest ones, they look clear and crisp, if we can say so. And I think it's just a matter of careful separation and installation on your model, and you'll be good to go. And of course, be mindful of the overall fitment. It's better to do the dry fitment than just to try to fix everything afterwards. For the landing gear wheels, we have here the raised edges on the one of the house, so it will help you as a guiding elements, and it will also align the parts between each other. Next, we continue with the separate plastic bag for the clear parts and 3D part. Frankly speaking, it's a bit surprising that 3D part was packed together with the clear, because it might scratch some clear elements. But fortunately, my parts are intact and you can see it with your own eyes. So of course here we have canopy parts and they look really gorgeous. And you saw that mask set will be sold separately. Again, that's something what I would recommend to get, because the canopy and the framing is quite tricky here. So it's easier just to get the pre-cut set, install it, and forget about it. Better focus on the painting process. As for the 3D part, here you can see it. I guess it will be used for the... Just give me a second. Okay, so it will be used for the tail landing gear. And it's quite tiny, but it's still nice to have the 3D printed part here out of the box. Especially considering the fact that not that many brands do this thing. Okay, so now we can move it aside, and I would like to check some other things which are included here, so just give me a moment. Okay, so we have Decals sheets. They are provided in 2 bags. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's errata, maybe it was needed for the clear part. Oh, we have also PE thread here. So just give me a second, I'll try to get it. So it's unpainted PE thread, and that's why we have the clear film here. As you can see, we have the instrument panel and seat belts for the cockpit, so definitely a good thing to have in a 1/48 scale, and your model will benefit from it even if you don't plan to open the cockpit. I'm not sure if there is actually a possibility to open the cockpit, but we have what we have. Next, we continue with decals. So here we have all necessary symbols. I'm not sure for how many options. We will check it in assembly manual, but you can notice that printing quality is really good. There is nothing to complain about, and the overall experience with decals from Special Hobby kits, it is quite positive, so I think this one will not be an exclusion from the rule. But that's not all. We also have one more decal sheet, as I said before. So here we have the US Army writing as a one decal. Obviously it would be a good idea to separate it a bit in order to apply it easier and quicker. And the clear film, just like I said, we have here the dials for the instrument panel, so it's just a matter of combining them together with PE parts. Okay, let's move these decals to the side. And next we move on to the assembly manual. So assembly manual is finished in form of color printed brochure. We have a short history note in Czech and English so that you'll learn more about this aircraft. Next we continue with the parts map here, paints chart, and it's quite surprising to see the marking guide provided just like that. So here we have the first marking option, by the way. I think it's the same as what we had on the box art. And also here we have the small errata and add for the engine. So as you can see, this set is still in development, but it will be available, and you can notice that it's way more detailed than what we get in the plastic. So assembly process starts with the cockpit, and here you'll have also to work on the engine parts. As you can see, all this stuff goes between fuselage house, obviously. Next we continue with more cockpit parts and engine compartment parts. Here we install another seat, And then we proceed with the instrument panel, the framing for the canopy. As you remember, it was provided as a one-piece part, which is really good. Next, we continue with the supporting tabs for the wing, I guess. Here we have a small ad for the wheels and masks. And next we continue with the wing assembly. So actually these tabs which we had inside wing parts, they are serving for the proper position of these parts together with the fuselage. Really smart solution. Quite interesting to see it here. Next we continue with the landing gear and also exhausts. Here we install wing struts and also some rigging. You have to use the 0.3mm line. The same applies for the tail wings. Here we install the landing gear wheels. So all the rigging here will be done with the 0.3 line. Only the antenna will be copied with the 0.2. Here we have the same first marking option as what we saw on the separate insert. Next we continue with two more and one more here. So 4 marking options. We have also a small ad for other kits from this brand. We reviewed them as well, so you can find it easily on our YouTube channel. And here you can see also some other kits. Again, we reviewed them as well, so you can check them all in the video reviews. As for today's kit, in my opinion, this is a really great upgrade to L4 Grasshopper, especially considering that there were no new releases as far as I remember. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. And of course, I will be happy to hear your overall impression here in the comment section as well. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.